Hi, welcome to day 4 of our yoga challenge. Find a comfortable seat on your mat. I'm so glad you're here today. The hardest part is over. You've made it to the mat. I know it's hard to find time in the day, so I'm so glad you're here. So find a comfortable seat, sit up nice and tall, lengthen through the side body, lift through the heart. Bring the hands onto the knees. We'll do a little stretch in the neck first. So allow the chin to come forward and then take the head back. Bring the chin forward. And then allow the head to fall back. And only taking it as far as it's comfortable for you. Now from side to side, so taking the eye gaze over one shoulder. And then taking it over the opposite shoulder. Bring up nice and tall. So one more time, take the eye gaze over the opposite shoulder. And then taking it the other way. Perfect. We'll move back in neutral. Inhale the arms up nice and slow, controlled on the inhalation. So moving with the breath. Pausing at the top of the breath. And then exhale as you bring the hands down. And nice and slow breath and movement. And let's bring the hands onto the knees. They can be face down or up. We're going to just take a couple moments here, find a bit of stillness. So allow the eyes to softly close and relax through your face. Bringing the awareness inward. Feeling incredibly grateful that we're here on the mat, taking a bit of time for ourselves. And noticing your breath. When you inhale, the belly rises. And on the exhale, drawing the navel slightly back, squeezing out all of the air, creating space for fresh oxygen. And take one more nice deep inhalation. And on the exhale, open the eyes. And let's meet in tabletop. So come on to all fours. Spread the fingertips wide. The index fingers can point toward 12 o'clock. Knees underneath the hips. And we're going to stretch through the side body here. So squeeze your right side together. So bring that right hip forward and the right shoulder back. So you're shortening the right side body, allowing the left side body to open. So really squeezing that hip up, the right hip up, the right shoulder back. And now the other side. So left hip comes forward, left shoulder back. Breathe. So pressing down evenly through the palms. For one more time on each side. So right hip forward, right shoulder back. And now the other side. The left hip forward, left shoulder back. Continuing to breathe. Beautiful. So coming back to neutral, let's go through cat-cows. A little space into that spine. So on your inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, take the shoulders back, elbow is up. And on your exhale, round. So feel free to go through this at your own pace. When you're exhaling, rounding, you're drawing the navel up, pressing the ground away. And on the inhales, when you drop the belly, lift the heart. And on your exhale, you're rounding. Relaxing the head down. Beautiful. Take one more. One more cat, one more cow, or a couple more, depending on how fast you are moving through it. And then we're going to meet back the neutral spine. So today I thought we could work on moving core. So let's stretch those right toes back. Stretch back through the heel. A little stretch in the calf muscle first. Now engage the core, engage the leg, begin to lift the toes up. And when you feel strong and steady, the opposite arm, hand goes forward, and then stretch the toes, the fingertips in opposite directions. So you can stay here, or if you want to kind of bring it up a little notch, you can add in a little crunch. So inhale as you lengthen out, and then exhale if you're squeezing it in. Again, you can just stay stretching it out. It's great, beautiful strengthener for the core and balance pose. We're just going to do 5 of these. I believe it's one more. Inhale as you lengthen out, and then exhale, drawing it in. And now stretching it again, opposite ends of the room, and then release. So we'll take that on the other side. Extend the left toes back, right arm forward. Actually, let's stretch through that calf first, like we did the other side. So stretch to the heel first. Then allow the leg to pop up. Engage through the core. Strong leg. Stretch the opposite one forward. Beautiful. So staying here, stretching, reaching, or drawing it in. So crunching it in. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you draw it in. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, drawing it in. So if you're doing the crunches, trying to bring the knee as far up as you can toward the chest, maybe in toward the nose. And I believe we're going to do one more. Lost count. Do one more. Beautiful. So stretch it out and then release. Beautiful. So let's come down onto our forearms and interlace the fingers. We're going to come into our plank pose. So forearms are down, stretch the legs back, and then lower those hips down. So breathing here. So strong core, lifting up out of the arms as well. So you can stay here, strong legs, or if you want, you can add a little bit of toe tapping. So you can bring the toes just on the back of the opposite heel. But we'll hold it here for 10, 9. And if at any point your lower back begins hurting or anything, just bring the knees down. But keep that core engaged, because even with the knees down, you'll still be getting your workout. So holding for 3, breathing for 2, and 1. So go ahead, bring the knees down. And we're actually going to come into our dolphin pose from here. So dolphin pose, we're going to keep the arms where they are. So forearms on the ground, knees are tucked in, your knees are bent, tuck your toes, and then begin to lift the hips up. So from here, you're going to walk the toes slightly in and then begin to press down through the heels. So it's very much like a downward facing dog, except we're on our forearms. So breathe. And if you can, walk the toes in a little bit more. Trying to keep the shoulders over the elbows, relax through the head, pressing down through the heels. Beautiful. So we're going to come back down onto the knees, sitting back onto the heels, and then take the arms down by the legs here. And then bring the forehead to the mat. So this is just a different version of your child pose. Allowing the hands, the arms to relax, breathe, creating space here through the lower back. Beautiful. So let's bring those hands back forward, coming back up onto all fours, and we're going to come into downward facing dog. So draw the hands out beyond the shoulders, Tuck the toes, lift the hips up, and draw them back. So begin to pedal through your legs. Breathing here. And then begin to press down both heels. So pressing actively through those heels. Press the chest down toward the thighs. Breathing. Fingertips spread nice and wide. Feet are parallel. They're really only about 6 inches apart. Not too wide of a stance here. So breathe. Beautiful. So let's begin to walk the feet forward. So we're going to walk to the front of the mat. And then I want you to just come back or kind of remain into a forward fold. So slightly bend those knees. Make sure the feet are parallel. Grabbing opposite elbows. Shake it from side to side. Breathe. So notice how you're putting pressure on the feet, right? So evenly distribute the weight. So press down through the big toe mounds. Pressing down through the pinkies, the heels, relax the head, relax the neck. And now release the hands. And we're going to inhale and just bring the hands up onto the thighs. Nice straight back here. Breathing. So looking out maybe 4 or 5 feet in front of you. Trying to get the neck a nice long extension from the spine. And then on your exhale, release again. Bend the knees as much as you need to. And let's grab our take your peace fingers and grab your big toes. So taking the peace fingers around the big toe. So the big toe mound is on top of your peace fingers. Bend your elbows. Knees are bent as much as they need to be. And then from here, relax your head and you're going to begin lifting up through the hips. Breathe. So the chest can stay on the thighs if that is happening right now. And you're not worried about straightening the legs, but more as just lifting the hips, which will allow the legs to straighten in time. Breathing. Beautiful. So release that toe grip. Bring the hands onto the hips. And then we're going to slowly come all the way up. It comes up last. Beautiful. So let's come to the center of the mat. We found a little bit of balance here. So take your right foot and step it just in front of the left. And bring your hands to heart center. So spiraling through those inner thighs. And when you're feeling balanced, I want you to close the eyes. Beautiful. Open the eyes, step back, other side. The left toes in front of the right. You can shift back and forth, trying to find that nice grounded center. And when you're ready, you close the eyes. Beautiful. So open the eyes. We're going to do one more standing pose. We'll come down to the floor. So we're going to do our tree pose. So shift that weight over to the left leg and bring the right sole of the foot anywhere on the leg except the knee. So above or below the knee. Begin to draw the knee back. Stand up nice and tall, hands to heart center. Breathe. So staying here or extend the arms up. Bring the hands back together, down to heart center, and release the leg. Other side, shift the weight to the right leg. Bring the sole of the foot anywhere on that leg except the knee. Draw that knee back, lift up out of the hips. strong core, and then begin to grow. Beautiful. Bringing the hands back together, down to heart center. Release the leg. Come up onto the tippy toes. And then we're going to lower ourselves all the way down onto the mat. So we're going to do a few of our boat poses here for core. So knees are bent, soles of the feet on the ground. Take the fingertips behind you. So fingertips facing the toes. And bend the elbows and kind of lean back a bit, but also extending out of that lower back there. So lift through the chest, and we're going to begin to lift the legs. So you may stay here, or you may bring the hands behind the thighs, or maybe the hands up to the side. So breathing here, nice wide collarbones, lifting up. We'll hold for 5. Breathing for 4, 3, breathe for 2, and 1. Release. Stretch the legs forward. By fold forward, and we're going to do 2 more. So bringing the hands back, lift the knees up, and when you're ready, right, nice wide collarbones here, strong core. Bringing the hands wherever you're ready. And we'll hold for 5, 4, 3. Lift the chest for 2. Maybe lift the legs a little higher for 1. Release. Stretch the legs forward, folding forward. 1 more. Arms behind you. Bend those knees. Lift the legs. Taking the hands to wherever works for your body. And breathe. Holding for 5, 4. Lift the chest for 3, 2. Lift, lift, lift. Lift the legs. Release. Legs stretch out, stretching forward. And then bring it all the way down onto your back. Bend both knees, bring them into your chest. Do little hip or do little knee circles, giving that lower back a bit of a massage. So go in one direction a few times and then the other. Beautiful. See if you can give yourself a bigger hug this time, maybe grabbing opposite wrists or elbows, bringing the head back onto the mat to really squeeze those knees in, chin toward the chest, and press down through the tailbone as you squeeze in. So inhale, and then exhale, draw the knees in, press the tailbone down. Beautiful. And then we're going to release the arms out to the side. The feet can come onto the ground. You can keep them lifted. And we're going to come into our final twist. So allow the knees to fall to the right. And see if you can stack the feet there if that's available. If it's comfortable, taking the eye gaze the opposite direction. So trying to keep the shoulders grounded helps you come into a nicer or a deeper, I should say, spinal twist. And if you'd like a little bit more of a stretch, take the right hand on top of the thigh, kind of press down. So remembering to breathe, closing the eyes here, just relax. So if the head is turned, bringing the head back to neutral, bringing the knees up through center and taking it to the other side. So the knees over toward the left, shoulders grounded down, stacking the feet if it's available, turning the eye gaze if it's comfortable, Maybe placing the left hand on the outer thigh for a bit of pressure, a little bit more of a stretch if you'd like. Closing the eyes, breathe. Bringing the head back to neutral. Knees back up through center. Soles of the feet onto the ground. Stretch those legs out. Allow the legs to be mat width distance apart. Coming into your final Shavasana, palms face up. Take a nice deep inhalation through the nose. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, release. And bringing the awareness to your body. Feeling connected to the earth. Feeling the stillness, the peace. And thank you for joining me on the mat today. See you tomorrow. Namaste.